They told you education is the key. They said, go to school. But why are so many graduates purposeless and jobless? On EduShift, we spot the cracks. We challenge the educational system. Torn between science, arts, and commerce, we bring clarity and answers to your questions, and we light up the path for a generation ready to stand out. Come enjoy discussions with educators, employers, and counselors. Let us fix this problem of career misalignment and help you discover yourself. EduShift, only on Global TV. Towards education that aligns with purpose. I am your host, Priscilla Obasi, and today's topic is a topic that cuts across every classroom, every hole, and almost every life story. As a matter of fact, I can say every life story, but it really makes itself into the school curriculum, which is a sad one. What are we talking about? We're talking about self-esteem and success. The hidden curriculum no one talks about. Often we say education views the mind, but what about the heart? What builds the heart? Because if we want to be sincere to ourselves, the heart is a vital part of, our lives. So you find teachers, teaching students mathematics. We teach English, we teach physics, we teach literature, we teach every kind of subject, but we do not teach them how to believe in themselves. Maybe not all, but most of the times. How to manage failure. Have you ever taught that in the classroom? Or even how to see worth beyond grades. And yet, that is what determines how far we go in life. Isn't that an irony? What is self-esteem? Let us start by establishing that. Now, self-esteem is not pride. Self-esteem is not arrogance. Self-esteem is that quiet confidence that says, I matter. I can learn. I can fail and still rise. That is what self-esteem is. A child who grows up with a high self-esteem doesn't crumble after one bad test scored. A teacher's word, a parent's tone, a classroom environment, did you know all of this can break it as well as build it? Many of us grew up hearing words like, why can't you be like that boy? You're so dull. You're stubborn. You're even stupid. Some of us heard those words growing up. And those words actually shape destinies more than we ever realize. In the 21st century, the most successful people are not they're not always the most intelligent. They are the most emotionally stable, the most confident, and the most self-aware. Now, this is the damage we don't talk about. Schools, I dare say this, that schools sometimes break confidence in the name of discipline. The teachers laugh at the wrong answer. When a child wants to answer a question in class, if class mocks a child who stutters, a report card becomes a measure of worth. Everyone is built for academics. You need to understand that academics, education, academics. I will need to differentiate what these two are, right? So, after we see all the reaction, all the outcome, we now wonder why, as adults, we can't speak up in meetings. You are seated, we wonder, why you guys not talking? You expected adults to contribute, but you didn't know that all of the words they heard growing up has a power to shape their personality, to shape their destiny. Why do you think Nate will settle for less? Why do you think people are afraid of failure? You're afraid of trying new things. It's because of all of these things. The effect of lack of self-esteem, which actually can stem from wrong, harsh words spoken to kids. Now, this is the hidden curriculum. The silent lessons students must learn every day without necessarily looking at the textbooks. They should be able to learn whether they're vulnerable or invincible, whether their voice matters, whether they're good enough. Self-esteem is a fuel for academic performance, academic success. And that is what we don't know. A student who believes in themselves learns faster, participates more, and dares to dream higher than anyone else. So, ooh, what are the roles as parents and teachers in building self-esteem? Now, let me start with the parents. Parents, we have to stop outsourcing confidence building to schools. It starts from the home, from how you talk to your children, how you correct and how you celebrate their efforts. If your child gets a 60%, don't only ask, why not 90? What did you learn? Celebrate them. Praise them. Growth deserves praise. Celebrate them. It takes celebration to produce more results. And to the teachers, the words echo louder than you know. Stop saying words like lazy student. Don't be a lazy boy. Funny enough, my son walked up to me recently. True life story. My son is 5 years old. 5 years old, rather. And then they say, oh, they always complain in the class. He doesn't like to write. He's not writing and all. At some point, I got really bothered. So I'll talk to him, I'll try to motivate him, try to give him rewards. Until he woke up to me one day and said, my teacher calls me lazy. And I said, oh, you're not lazy. You're a hardworking boy. You love to write. I started giving positive words. And I took him to the teacher the next day and I said, well, if you want to get the best of this boy, you need to stop calling him lazy. The more you call him lazy, the more he behaves lazy. So instead of calling him lazy, hail him, call him hardworking. And she said, oh, is that it? Guess what? When I went to pick him up from school, the teacher said, wow, he wrote well today. I called him hardworking. And I saw him saying, Mommy, my teacher called me hardworking today and I wrote well. Children actually respond to these things. And even if they don't, you cannot get the best outcome by now going the opposite direction, by saying negative things. No, it will worsen the situation. Well, I take my son's case as a typical example of how words actually can work magic. So that is the student you call lazy might be the next inventor. If handled differently, the one who seems to be distracted, might just be struggling silently with fear. Now, a teacher's belief can actually become a student's backbone, just like the story of my son I shared with you. Please, if you don't learn anything from this very episode today, learn to use positive words on kids. They respond fast. It might not work 100% on adults, but you see them, they respond fast. Now, some of the most successful people in life were not class stars. No, they were actually confident risk takers who knew how to keep trying. Whenever you look at the, negativity or the laughter from colleagues or friends or classmates, no. Take a look at people like Richard Branson. Richard Branson was dyslexic. I don't know if you've heard of the word dyslexia. Dyslexia is It's the inability of a person was to be able to spell correctly. I don't know if you have come across such people. Some of them won't speak excellently, but when it comes to writing and spelling, they suck at it. So, Richard Branson was one. But yes, he built a Virgin Group. He looked at Albert Einstein. He was slow in school, if you've heard of his story, but he was strong in curiosity. And you can see the outcome of these two personalities I just listed. They turned out great. In today's world, success actually belongs to those who have not, who have resilience, who do not give up. Yes. Who have resilience, not just results. Because results sometimes, when it comes to elite, can actually stop you from, more, to conquer more, right? So resilience actually grows from a healthy self-esteem. It takes a person to believe in themselves to keep trying over and over, regardless of how people feel or how people see itself. Self-esteem. And sometimes there's a magic on the inside that actually works these things out, right? So people, if you need a person, that, have tried a thing over and over, people kept marking and, laughing at them, and yet they keep trying. There's something boiling on the inside and something that you should have to. Now, matter in our curriculum even give you subjects like emotional intelligence. It includes subjects like self-discovery. If it included subjects like personal growth, if it included subjects like failure management, imagine teaching students how to manage pressure and not just pass exams. We're going to raise intentional leaders. We're going to raise unstoppable people. And that would be through education. Now, Badia's new curriculum reform talks about introducing digital skills, entrepreneurship, and artificial intelligence, which is fantastic if you ask me. But it's time to include social and emotional learning, if you ask me, because no matter how advanced we become technologically, a child who doesn't know their worth will still struggle to lead. I read it, we say we're raising leaders of tomorrow. So we need teachers who understand psychology. Not only classrooms that reward effort as not as excellence. Think about it. A person attempts to make a thing is perfect about attempting it. Whether they get it or not, their effort needs to be rewarded. Wasn't it parents who can correct without crushing kids? There's a temptation to lash out. As maybe an African mother and an African father, there's that temptation to lash out. Hold it. Think about it. Take a deep breath. That would not give you the best of results. You want to raise an excellent child, you want to raise a child that you'll be proud of tomorrow, you can do that by, reacting and responding that way constantly to your child. Because at the end of the day, confidence is not just in the classroom. It actually never ends. Let's take a quick break now while we join the kids, the edutainment segment. Please stay with us.
It's edutainment time on EduShift.
This is just primary one. I'm already tired. Can I go straight to university? What? I think you have to be a genius. I can become anything I want. And you became a problem. Excuse me? She wants to go to university, right? Tell her to spell university.
Can you spell university, Aisha?
Y-O-U. Don't worry, I'll spell it later. What does she mean by later?
Hey!
When I say later, I mean later in life, not today.
They told you education is the key. They said, go to school. But why are so many graduates purposeless and jobless? On EduShift, we spot the cracks. We challenge the educational system. Torn between science, arts, and commerce, we bring clarity and answers to your questions, and we light up the path for a generation ready to stand out. Come enjoy discussions with educators, employers, and counselors. Let us fix this problem of career misalignment and help you discover yourself. EduShift, only on Global TV. Welcome back. This is still EduShift. I'm the air on the conversation. Confidence, self-esteem, and success. The hidden curriculum no one talks about. Now, I want us, if you're not watching this, I want this very segment is for us right now. I want you to reflect on how your life would have turned out if the things that you sit now and dread, or you can look back to say, I really did not like this part in my upbringing. Do you think you're replicating the same thing on your kids if you are a parent? I want you to sit back. How you imagine your parents talking to you when you were a child? How did you prefer them to talk to you? Do you think you're doing that to your kids? Now, if you were a teacher, another when you were in primary and secondary school, right? How did you prefer your teachers corrected you? Do you think you're doing that now to those kids that are your care? Think about it. How did you prefer your tests, exams? You had this way you preferred it. Yeah, I know that our curriculum is not perfect, it is, we're following the standard and all, but you can actually infuse it. It also takes hard work, yeah, but then it will make you different. It will make you stand out. It will make you be remembered for. Think about it. Think about it. As parents, as children, as teachers, what are you doing differently? Are you really acting out the way you preferred? You always preferred to be treated when you were a kid? Think about it. And as students listening to this, wherever you are, no matter where you are, no matter what you have been viewed with, like the established, fails are the end of the world. You can actually rise from it. Self-education is a thing, right? It depends on what level you are right now, but I don't think anyone is too small to understand that self-education is a thing. You can learn by yourself. Thank God for the internet age we're in right now. Everything's accessible online. Yes, but whatever it is that you do not like, I want you to be determined to make an attempt to, put measures to make sure that that thing does not multiply. For example, if you have been raised with God words and you know somehow it's getting to you, so to sit yourself down and speak positively to yourself. Tell yourself the beautiful things that no one told you that you expect people to tell you. Tell it to yourself. If you want to treat yourself rightly, you would not allow people, you wouldn't give the chance for people to treat you wrongly because you have self-value. So self-value is a thing, right? Sit yourself down and tell yourself those beautiful words that you want to hear from people. And watch how you will not settle for less because you have a standard for yourself. So you need to embrace self-love. You need to understand self-awareness. Know yourself. All of these are triggers here. You ever stand around a door like it doesn't do, this is that thing that got to me. And you pick it at that point and transform it, turn it to the positive, right? Tell yourself the opposite of it. Maybe you cannot say it in front of that adult that says it to you, or go to, that secret place of yours. Leave that environment and go and do the reverse psychology. Talk to yourself. Tell yourself the beautiful things you want to say to yourself. It doesn't matter what anybody says to you. Whatever you say to yourself is what matters, right? So let us raise, as we raise and educate the next generation, let us remember that every child carries two report cards. The first one is that the first one measures grades and another measures the invisible one. That measures, confidence, self-worth, and resilience. So we say every child carries two report card. The first one measures grades. The other one measures confidence, self-worth, and resilience. It would be 2-0 in life if you lose at both ends. New grades, no self-confidence, no self-worth. Whatever levels you are at academically, let me tell you, give yourself a pass mark. Make sure you pass. You have a good report on the other report card, which has to do with your self-confidence. The Nzinzilo report card that no one gets to see physically, where it shows in the relationships. Yes, it shows. It's actually what makes you win in life. It's actually what makes you successful at the end of the day. But Larry having both, one of being that would be having, a good mark, a good check, a good report on your academics, and then a good report on self-worth. That could make you an unstoppable winner. One that will make you get, the first one will, of course, help you get through school. And the other one, like I said, will help you overcome in life. I hope we have been able to, learn from this very episode of all these shifts. This for me is one of my favorites, yes, because while speaking, I'm also speaking to myself while I'm speaking to you. So it is a win-win, right? So I have been your host. I am still your host on EduShift. And of course, this is that space where we'll help you shift towards education that aligns with purpose. Now, if you have missed our previous episodes, do not forget to catch them up. You can check our YouTube channel at Global TV NG, and also follow Global Television for more interesting programs like this. At this point, I think it's time to cut it off. It has been an interesting conversation, not just interesting, transformative conversation. I can't wait to see you next time. Before I see you again, make sure to practice every single thing we've learned today, right? It is a journey. At the end of it all, the goal is to help you align your education with purpose and ultimately to win in life. See you next time. Bye for now. They told you education is the key. They said, go to school. But why are so many graduates purposeless and jobless? On EduShift, we spot the cracks. We challenge the educational system. Torn between science, arts, and commerce, we bring clarity and answers to your questions, and we light up the path for a generation ready to stand out. Come enjoy discussions with educators, employers, and counselors. Let us fix this problem of career misalignment and help you discover yourself. EduShift, only on Global TV.